Hey everybody, it's Randy with 3D Junk Removal and Rentals. Hey, I figured I'd jump back on here and do a part two, since I did get quite a bit of response from the first how-to video, and I've had a few people message me in my messenger, and it's pretty cool. So I like trying to talk and help people, as much as I can. I want to help the next guy. I'm not all about competition at all. I'd rather everybody, no matter if you're in my city or not, I'd rather you succeed. So anyway, so I figured I'd jump on here and talk a little bit about a few more things that, I guess I want to make sure you're thinking of before you, while you're doing this business and while you're starting it, because it's not necessarily things that was at the top of my mind, and but it is definitely an important part of the business. And so the first thing I'd like to say is, if you didn't watch my first how to start a business part 1 video, I'd go back and watch that one so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And then and this one is just going to kind of be a piggyback off that one. So the first thing I would, let me back up. So to kind of recap what we talked about, the first one: getting your LLC, getting insurance, and start your marketing. Getting your marketing out there, getting your name out there. Another thing you need to start thinking about when you have gotten that pretty far into your business, by then, if you're starting to get your name out there, you're going to start realizing it's going to get a little bit, what would be the word? It's going to get a little bit time consuming and tedious, the financial part of it. But like we all know, it's got to be done. If you're not very good at your finances and keeping track of it, that is probably one of the fastest ways that a business would go under. I'm sure it's one of the top. And so I didn't realize, as I was doing it as a side thing, it's pretty easy to keep track of it. But once I started at full time, and I have employees under me, and I have 2 guys that work for me, I didn't realize how hard mentally it is to keep up with all of the financial part of it. I think my story is a little bit different than others, because at first I just started out with writing it down in my notes section on my phone. Then once it got a little bit busier, I went to use the Square app. Then whenever I hired the employees, I went to QuickBooks. And I'm gonna tell you, I got a big issue with QuickBooks. I wish I would have reviewed everything, all the reviews online, before I decided to use QuickBooks. So be very wary. I want you to go online and read the reviews if you're going to use QuickBooks, at least for the payment part. The QuickBooks, keeping track of your stuff is fine, but in my mind, why am I going to want to pay a monthly fee to a company that does what they do to people who do the payments? And if you've never heard about it, because I didn't either, just go online and start reading the reviews and the threads that people have. Right now, QuickBooks owes me a lot of money. It's a lot of money to me, close to $4,000. I've been fighting it now for 2 months since I started QuickBooks, and what happened was, I'll just kind of briefly talk about it. I have customers who I send invoices to, and they paid the invoices through my email that I sent them, but the money has gone. The money never went into my account. QuickBooks keeps telling me, and I have spent hours and hours and hours, at least probably 20 or 30 hours, me and my girlfriend, and we've spoke to, I'm not shitting, we've spoke to probably now 40 or 50 people, and every one of them, the majority of them give the different response, but there's about the same 3 or 4 responses. It just depends on which one you talk to. You cannot go higher. They will not let you speak to anybody else. They just keep sending you links and telling you it's going to be 2 more business days. It's not. That money's, so we started researching and realized, man, there's people in these threads and these reviews that QuickBooks owes over $100,000 to, that it's been going on like that for a year, and they've been fighting it, and $30,000, $20,000. I mean, if you're taking payments through QuickBooks, please read all the reviews first, and because I'm just a small company, where I'm at a small level. That $4,000 that they owe me it's a lot of money for my business, and so it's very sickening to me in my stomach because I can't get to the person. I can't find them. I can't see them face to face. They're just a random person on the phone that you can't get no higher. There's nobody to talk to. And come to find out, I mean, they're doing it to a lot of people. So anyways, let me before I get too sidetracked about QuickBooks, you need to figure out a program to use to keep yourself organized. This organization is very important if you haven't really thought about it yet. I know most people starting businesses, some have kind of got an idea, but it's one of the number one things up there. Probably it's pretty high on whether your business is going to succeed or not, is if you can stay organized with your finances and keeping your not salary, but keeping your sales and everything in track. So now what I use at this moment, I started back to Square. I'm no longer going to do anything in QuickBooks, but I don't want my customers to pay through Square. I just use Square invoices so that I can track my invoices. I would prefer them to pay through a cash or check, just because I give them the processing fee. Whatever Square is going to charge me, I'm going to charge the customer. I'd rather not charge them, so we try to push them another way. But I give them that option. You definitely need to have the option of a credit card for a lot of these customers, for a lot of the businesses nowadays. And so you got to come up with something. Square is the easiest. It's free. If you can pay, obviously, but if you use their free one, it's other than the fee it's going to charge. So with your organization and your financial parts, you got to come up with a way you're going to take payments. But it is a must in today's age that you take payment through credit card, because so many people, that's the only way they pay, and you don't want to lose that customer. So you definitely need to come up with some type of paying app. And so for now, I went back to Square and keep my invoices there. I have the transfer. I have so much of it in QuickBooks. QuickBooks is what I use for the last 2 months, so it's got all my, it's got quite a bit of information in it now. But and people close to me are saying, like, just use QuickBooks to keep up with your financial, your tax part of it. Motherfucker, no. No. They are a dirty fucking company. They are garbage. After reading everything I read from them, I mean, I don't understand how that company's not in the fucking, I don't know how they're not in jail for being criminals. I don't want to be associated with QuickBooks. I don't want to know anybody that works at QuickBooks. They can go fuck off. But anyways, let me get back. I don't want to get off too much, so I won't use QuickBooks. So right now I got to transfer everything back over to Square, and I know that's probably not the best one either. It's going to be kind of hard to track my stuff. It looks like Square is starting to figure it out, and they have like Square invoices. It looks like will be a pretty good app. It's very easy to run, and they track my my money. So I'm switching to Square. I know a lot of people have said, hey, use House Call Pro. On the Facebook groups, a lot of people say that. And so I've looked into it, and I don't like these monthly bills, the monthly payments. Like House Call Pro, I think it's like $50 a month, $60 a month, unless you want to upgrade one where you can do QuickBooks integration, then you're paying like $130 a month. So to me, I don't want to pay that high. QuickBooks, I was doing their lowest, $25. There's so much stuff out there that there's so much stuff out there you can use that there's no point in paying hundreds of dollars. I can use that money and reinvest in the company. Hell, at that point, if I was going to pay $100, I'd just go old school and use notepads, because I'm pretty close to just going back and doing that anyways, because I'm having too much issue with these things. So anyways, let me reiterate before I get off my soapbox, because I get sidetracked a lot. That's my everyday life. I'm always getting sidetracked. And so what you got to think about is your financial part of it and the organization. I never really thought about it at the beginning, and I learned that, boy, it's a pain in the butt, but it's a part of business, and you got to keep up with it. I have an issue a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, where I'm like, well, I'll add those jobs we did today. I'll put them on my books tomorrow. Then it turns into I'll do it tomorrow. Then it turns into I'm a week and a half since I've added the stuff, and I can't remember. I have bad memory, really bad memory, and so I'm like, fuck, I can't remember. I go through all my text messages, and I probably missed some jobs. So it's not. I have to force myself to get better at the organization part of it, because, well, I should take 15 minutes a day at the end of the day and write down the jobs that we did that day and how much. I keep, aside from the online organization that I do, aside from Square, I also have a daily worksheet that I use that just keeps track of every day of the week, and then I can show y'all one if you wanted to, but it just keeps track of my cost analysis, basically what I ran that day, and then I total it at the end of the week, and I have those in a folder, and it just goes by week by week by week. So I can look at that. To me, that's still, it's a little old school, but it's pretty easy for me to see that. So instead of just Square, that's the part I'm talking about. Whenever I go a week or week and a half and I forget, it's because I run my daily amount that I ran that day. I like to keep track of that, but I still don't do it, even though it takes me 10 minutes. So I'm really mad at that, and I gotta stop. So anyways, after your organization, which I probably should have put that on the first video, honestly, because it is very important. Your organization, which I put your finances inside of organization, your human resources part of it, your HR, your behind the scenes part, I don't know. It's really, really important, and that's going to make or break a company if you're not doing it properly. So the next thing I would start worrying about is uniform. This uniform right here. This is, you definitely want to stand out in every way you can, because in our organization you gotta, or not organization, but in our industry, you got to understand any Joe Schmo can do this kind of work. What stands you out different from others is your customer service. You got to have customer service, and then of course actually finances in the organization. You got to be able to make that. You got to be able to handle your money correctly, or you're going to go under. Number 3 is another way you got to stand out is you got to look professional. You can't be going up there looking all raggedy with shorts on and messed up shoes and just a mismatched clothes, tank top, and going into a house, where maybe it's just the spouse or the wife or a daughter or maybe the man of that house isn't there, and you can't go in there. I mean, you can, and you'll probably only do it once. These customers got to feel trusted. They got to feel safe. Not trusted. They got to trust you. They need to feel safe, and the way to do that is to present yourself very professional. And I say uniforms. You don't have to go as far as uniforms from the beginning, but it definitely is going to make you stand out from the next guy. And people will start noticing, around town, if they see you or your employees, they kind of put a face to your business a little bit more. So it's very important, I think, to stand out with your uniform. It's just one other notch that you can do to stand out a little bit better than the next. And so at this point, kind of spoke about organization. I got on to ramp it a little bit about QuickBooks, because I'm very passionate, and I don't want the next person to be feeling what I'm feeling, what I'm going through right now with QuickBooks. Somebody has $4,000 of my money, and I can't get to them, trust me, I've called to the corporate office to talk to the CEO. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see me show up at their office in California, because it's the only office I've found. I've looked up addresses. The only one I can find is their corporate one, and I may take a plane ticket and meet them at the door. But anyways, let me reiterate, I want you to be very good at the organization and financial part, and I don't want you to fall in the trap that I fell in, where you just assume QuickBooks is the answer because that's what you hear from everybody. Their organization, as far as your invoices, is really good. I mean, I don't think you could beat it anywhere. But when you start trying to take payments from them, and they're doing what they're doing to the amount of people they're doing it to, it's wrong. They should be charged criminally, and I'm not going to associate with a company like that. So I don't even want to pay them to do the financial part. I mean, the invoices part. So I really hope, maybe if anything else you get out of this video, it is to get away from QuickBooks. I don't care. They can sue me. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. I just wish I could meet them face to face. We'd have a different conversation. But all right. So, anyways, I hope this video helps you out. Then, and please message me down below, or get on my Facebook and send me a messenger. That's where a couple of them have. And I really love helping somebody out. I want to give them something that I didn't have, maybe, and help them not have to deal with what I've dealt with, and help them succeed more than I have. That's the goal here, is for everybody to succeed. There's enough where we can all eat, and so let's eat. All right, have a good day.